What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Sea Radio. My name is Corbin, and no, seriously, what is going on? It feels like every other day I have the ability to make one of these videos because 95% of our team, it feels like right now, is on the injured list. I thought Chris Sale's injury was the worst injury that we were going to see this year, and I still think it is, but today we were hit with what could quite possibly be the second worst injury to the Red Sox for this year. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about the fact that Rafael Devers, our biggest and best star, is now on the injured list. We're going to talk about why he was injured, how long he'll be injured, and what implications this has on the Red Sox season, because trust me, the spoiler alerts for anyone who does not want to hear this, it's not good. But before we get into that, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys are hitting the like button on these videos as well. It helps it out a ton and would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. Alright, so for those of you who don't know why Rafael Devers has been added to the small army that is now accumulating on our injured list, Rafael Devers was placed on the IL today because of right hamstring inflammation. Now, on the surface, it doesn't seem so bad, right? It's inflamed, it's probably a little worn out. Give it a couple of days and he'll be back to normal. But there's a decent possibility that this is a little bit bigger of an issue than most people are thinking. And the reason for that is because of the fact that this was one of the reasons Rafael Devers was kept out of the second half of the New York series in Boston, as well as the first half of the Tampa Bay series in Tampa. Now, again, I don't want to make this a big thing and I don't want to get people super worried, but the fact that he has been dealing with this before the All-Star break and it is still something that's bothering him to the point where he and Alex Cora believe that the best move for him was to get onto the IL should be something that's a tiny bit concerning to people. The fact that our best player, our most powerful player, our perennial MVP candidate has been dealing with right hamstring inflammation for a while is definitely something that I'm concerned with. My hope is that I'm wrong and that Rafael Devers is able to come back super quickly and he just needs a couple days off, let him work with the trainers and everything, get fully ready to go and come back healthy and happy. But there's also the underlying thought for me that this might turn into a little bit of a longer stint, a 15, a 20, a 40-day stint on the IL. 40 is a bit extreme, that's worst case scenario. My head's just not in a great place right now. But at the same time, this has big implications on the Red Sox, and the reason for that is because of what we just mentioned. He's your power bat, he's your AL MVP candidate consistently, he's your all-star, he is the most talented person on this team, and regardless of whether or not he's out for 10, 15, 20 days, whatever it is, this is an important stretch for the Red Sox. We're coming up on the trade deadline and there's already questions about whether or not the Red Sox should sell or buy at the trade deadline. Rafael Devers being injured kind of leans the needle towards sell, especially if the Red Sox can't put something together in these next couple of series. You've got the rest of the Toronto series, which we're not even going to talk about yesterday's game right now. We've got the Guardians series who have been putting up a fight all season, and you've got the Brewers who are #1 in their division right now. Those are really important series before you get to the trade deadline that could genuinely determine the rest of the season. Not to mention, regardless of the trade deadline, if you don't do well in these three series, you're looking at being 5, 6, 7 games back in that wild card spot, and that might not be something the Red Sox are able to dig out of in 2022. To try and replace Rafael Devers, they brought up Jalen Davis. If you don't know who Jalen Davis is, remember that first series against the Baltimore Orioles in Baltimore where Hirokazu Sawamura had that error? Well, Jalen Davis was signed to a minor league deal during that series and actually played a couple of games for the Red Sox. Pretty infamously, he was that single that Christian Vasquez messed up and didn't score on. I don't know if you guys remember that. I'll probably put a clip in here just to show you. He was then immediately sent down to AAA and has been there ever since. He is a decent power bat, but again, that is nowhere near where Rafael Devers is and how much he adds to a lineup. The Red Sox are in deep trouble right now. They have none of their power hitters. You've got Trevor Story on the bench with his hand thing. He'll probably be back pretty soon, but still, he probably won't be here for the rest of the Toronto Blue Jays series. JD Martinez, I forgot to even talk about him, is on the bench because of back spasms, and now you add Rafael Devers. So right now, your best power hitter on the team is Christian Vasquez, who I love, don't get me wrong, but if I'm building a team to be competitive in the AL East, Christian Vasquez can't be your most powerful hitter. That is not a great thing. If I'm Alex Cora right now, I am having a stroke trying to put together a team that is winnable, especially against really good opponents coming up in these next couple of series. Someone's gonna have to step up big time in this series. I'm looking at Xander Bogaerts specifically, whose power really hasn't been there all year. He has a ton of doubles, sure, but that home run swing just doesn't seem to be there like it has been in the past. So I'm looking for him to come out and have a great next couple of series, because really this Red Sox team needs him to step up in a big way. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this latest injury. This is probably the most prominent injury we've had this year, besides maybe Chris Sale's injury in New York. So I'm expecting some pretty big reactions to this news. So let me know all your thoughts down below. As always, if you've made it to the end of this video, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like I said at the beginning, we talk Red Sox almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys are hitting the like button on this video as well. It helps it out a ton and would mean a lot to me. And if you enjoy this video, share with a friend or family member who loves the Red Sox as much as you do, so they can be informed about injuries too. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.